Good morning. I'm Crystal with Whole New Perspective. This morning I am going to be baking some bread, and I'm going to be using my bread machine to do all the work for me. All I'm going to do is just put all the ingredients in, and at the end of I think it's 3.5 hours, I'm going to have a perfect loaf of bread. So listen, before we get into this video, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. Now the bread that I'm going to be making today, I'm going to be making this Italian herb bread. And I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera down just so you can see all the ingredients that I have. And I'll put the ingredients in this video as well. So my bread machine comes with a lot of instructions, a lot of different bread recipes, as well as some other type of recipes other than bread. You can make jam in it as well. But we're going to make this Italian herb bread today. The good thing about it is you follow the instructions as they are written. We add 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to add 4 1/4 cup of bread flour. Now I use all-purpose flour. I think one of the main differences is that the bread flour has more protein, and my understanding is the all-purpose flour will be just a bit stickier. The dough will be a bit stickier. So I added just a little more than 1 1/4 cup. And then after you've added that, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. I use my hands a lot in here. You're going to need to at the very end anyway. So I use my hands in here. I'm adding my 2 tablespoons of sugar. Then I'm going to add 1 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then you add your olive oil. It's actually 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm going to put the olive oil around the edges. And I'm doing that because you don't want your active dry yeast to be wet. And it goes in the center. So that's 1. And this is 2 tablespoons. Then after you put your oil in, you're going to put in 1 teaspoon of basil. Now I have a teaspoon of basil and also a teaspoon of just Italian seasoning, which also has basil in it. But it also has oregano and several other herbs. And so I'm just going to use it as well. It's a little more than the recipe, but I do like this taste and I like this flavor. Then after you do that, that's when you add your 2 teaspoons of your dry active yeast. And this is what I like to use, a non-GMO active dry yeast that I get from Azure Standard. So I'm going to take the lid off. And then I'm just going to dig a little well. You want to dig a well in the center because this is where you want your yeast to go. Then I'm just going to put the 2 teaspoons. And this measuring cup or measuring spoons, they come with this particular bread machine. It's 1 teaspoon. And that's 2 teaspoons. Now I'm going to do this the long way and let it run for a longer time. You could do a rapid rise and use a rapid yeast, but I'm just using the regular yeast. And that's really it. I'm going to go ahead and put this into my bread machine, and I'll bring you back when I do that. So I've put it in my bread machine now. I'm just going to close this down and plug it in. And when I plug it in, see, there we go. Comes on and it just asks what type of bread you're going to make. But so what I'm going to do, it's hard to do it and have the video on, but I'm going to see the select course right here. Push that. That's wheat. That's the dough. Then it's going to run through all the other cycles. This is the basic. You can see those two lines. So that's the basic bread, the basic loaf, which is what I'm going to be making. I like the medium, so I'm just going to, it's going to go for 3 hours and 30 minutes. So now all I'm going to do is just start it. Right, there's the start button right here. I'm just going to start it. It's starting to preheat. Now I have a full video on this and I will attach it, but I do want to go ahead and let you see some of this process. The bread is done. Let me show you what it looks like. It's hot, but a light crust or medium crust, I'm sorry. And this is what it looks like. Going to let it cool off a little bit and then I'll take it out and show it to you. I've taken it out and this is what it looks like. It smells delicious. I'm going to go ahead and cut it and I'll show you what it looks like inside. Still pretty warm and hot. This is what it looks like inside. I did have a little bit and it tastes delicious. So I also wanted to just let you all know that there's another book that I use from time to time, a bread machine book, and I'll put that down in the link below. I have a lot of great recipes from there. Thank you guys for watching. Now, if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. And don't forget to hit that like button. Also, let me know the types of bread that you like to make. Thanks again for watching.